The phone rang just as I was sinking into the rare quiet of my living room, a moment of peace after a long day. The caller ID lit up, Lincoln High. For a second, I froze. My heart skipped, my chest tightened with a sudden, inexplicable panic. The principal? That could only mean trouble. But it didn't make sense. I don't have kids. Never have. My mind raced, scrambling to make sense of the call before I even answered. "Hello," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Mr. Hayes?" The voice was firm, yet strained. "This is Principal Dawson. I'm calling about your daughter, Brianna. She was involved in a serious incident at school today. We need to discuss the next steps regarding her expulsion." I blinked. My daughter? Brianna? The words caught in my throat. I think there's been a mistake. I don't have a daughter. A pause stretched long enough that the air in the room felt thick, suffocating. "Are you sure, sir?" the principal asked carefully, almost hesitantly. "The paperwork says—" Paperwork? My hand started to shake. This wasn't possible. Sweat prickled at my neck as I glanced around my empty apartment, echoing with the silence of my solitary life. No children, no secrets, nothing to explain this madness. "I'm sure," I said, my voice firmer now, though the tremor underneath betrayed me. "You must have the wrong person." The principal's tone turned heavy with unease. "I'll have to double-check, but the school records clearly list you as her guardian. Brianna even mentioned your name to the counselor." My stomach dropped. My pulse pounded in my ears as a cold, creeping realization sank in. Someone out there knew my name. Someone was using it. My quiet, ordinary life, the one I had carefully built, was suddenly colliding with mystery I didn't understand. The principal's words echoed in my mind long after the call ended. How could a girl I had never met, a daughter who didn't exist, appear in school records, counselor notes, and expulsion paperwork? My apartment suddenly felt smaller, the walls closing in as thoughts raced. I needed answers. But where do you even begin when reality itself seems to have turned against you? I spent the next hour combing through emails, online accounts, old phone contacts. Nothing. No evidence. No trace of Brianna. No one who could explain why my name had been used. Every lead hit a dead end, amplifying the dread that someone or something had inserted itself into my life without my knowledge. By late afternoon, I decided I needed to see the paperwork myself. I called the school, requesting copies of all documents related to Brianna Hayes. The secretary hesitated, a flicker of apprehension in her voice. "It may take a day or two to compile everything." "I can't wait," I insisted. After a tense, long hold, she finally agreed to email scan copies. When the files arrived, my hand shook as I opened them. There was forms, signatures, even a photograph of a teenage girl with dark hair and green eyes, a face I didn't recognize. My name was typed clearly as her legal guardian, in bold letters across every page. Disbelief turned into a cold, sinking fear. I tried calling the principal again, but the line was dead. Emails went unanswered. My mind raced through possibilities. Identity theft, a cruel prank, a bureaucratic error so monstrous it defied logic. But deep down, I knew this was a mistake. Someone had deliberately placed me here, thrust me into this story without my consent. The more I probed, the more I realized that my life, the one I thought I knew, might not entirely belong to me. As night fell, I sat in the dim glow of my laptop, scrolling through the document again and again. With every glance, the unknown crept closer. Then, a subtle but unmistakable feeling settled over me. I wasn't just haunted by an unknown girl. I was being watched. Sleep eluded me. Every hallway creak made me tense. Every shadow on my wall felt purposeful. I kept replaying the principal's voice, the certainty in her tone when she spoke Brianna's name. To them, she wasn't a mistake. She was real, and not just real, she was mine. The next morning, I drove to the school myself. The red lights, the turns, the road, I barely remembered them. I entered the main office, and when the receptionist saw me, her eyes widened as if she recognized me. "You're Brianna's mom," she whispered, without asking. Before I could protest, She motioned for the principal. He appeared in the doorway, looking older and more worn than I expected, but relief washed over his face when he saw me. "Thank God," he said. "I was hoping you'd come in person." I opened my mouth to tell him the truth. I don't have children, but he didn't let me speak. Instead, he handed me a small envelope, yellowed edges, handwriting across the front, my name written in cursive I didn't recognize. "She told us you would deny her," the principal said quietly. Every muscle in my body froze. I stepped outside, went to my car, and sat gripping the envelope like it might explode. With trembling fingers, I opened it. Inside was a single folded page and a photograph. The photo showed me in a hospital bed, pale, tears on my cheeks, holding a newborn wrapped in a pink blanket. Someone had taken this picture. Someone had kept it. On the back, for words written in small handwriting, "You promised to come back." My pulse thundered. Reality was unraveling in ways I wasn't prepared for. I wanted to scream that it wasn't possible, that this life wasn't mine. But deep beneath my denial, something flickered. Not a memory, exactly, but the ghost of one. A fragment I had buried so deep it no longer felt like mine. And then a single, impossible thought whispered through my mind.